Give me 2 minutes, and I'll tell you a story. In the movie Saving Mr. Banks, Walt Disney, played by Tom Hanks, says to Mary Poppins author P.L. Travers, played by Emma Thompson, because that's what we storytellers do. We restore order with imagination. I don't think it's only storytellers. I think most of us replay our setbacks and defeats, envisioning how we might have handled events, encounters, and experiences that didn't go as we planned or hoped. Which brings me to the end of my first marriage in Cleveland, Ohio, circa 1991. We often hear, read, and watch countless stories, programs, and movies about wedding days. But what about divorce days? I recounted mine in a short story called Cotton Candy. I arrived at the courthouse drenched, courtesy of a midsummer Cleveland cloudburst. The navy double-breasted suit and emerald tie I had chosen so carefully hours earlier were soaked, as was my confidence on this important day. She sat stiffly on a wooden bench outside the judge's chambers. Her knees were locked and hands folded in her lap. She was as pretty as I imagined she would be, dressed in a smart lavender outfit with a lace collar buttoned high on the neck. Her auburn hair was pulled back in a tight French braid. She looked as cool and composed as I was soggy and disheveled. Her left hand looked strange without my diamond ring on her finger. She saw me looking at her hands and repositioned them. Later, after we signed our dissolution forms, we raised our right hands and said, "I do," ending our marriage with the same words we had spoken on that altar in nearby Euclid, Ohio, 5 years earlier. We stood awkwardly outside the courthouse on that now humid, sunny day. The sidewalk was dotted with tiny puddles. Standing there, I recalled the final scene in The Way We Were, when Redford and Streisand embraced tenderly years after their divorce. Could I pull off that same poignant goodbye? As I stepped forward to offer a farewell hug, she retreated a step, extending her hand. "Take care," I said, after a perfunctory grip. "You too," she said, her words drifting over her shoulder. That's pretty much how things went on my divorce day. But in the imagined real world, a creative writer goes further to recast and dramatize the past. I watched a small boy approach the cotton candy vendor, his eyes open wide. He was grinning as he tugged on his mom's hand, anticipating a funnel of the pink stuff. "Don't do it, kid," I wanted to shout. "It's all a mirage, an illusion. Just whipped up sugar. No substance, nothing to sink your teeth into. Wise up, kid, before it's too late." But he dove right in, shoving his little smiling face into the gob of cotton candy. He giggled contagiously as his mom frowned and tried to wipe the pink gunk off his face. He didn't care. He was having a ball. But of course, there was nothing to swallow. It all melted all too soon. Today it's a glob of cotton candy. Tomorrow it's a woman you pray is the answer to your dreams. An angel sent to make your life complete. She'll be beautiful and sweet. You'll swear you found eternal happiness. But guess what? The marriage will dissolve and you'll end up with nothing. Just a bitter aftertaste. Nobody likes a sore loser, especially when you're the protagonist of your story. I ended mine with a chance encounter between the now ex-spouses, and this time they embraced and exchanged kind farewells. Anything is possible in the imagined real world, because that's what we storytellers do. We restore order with imagination. Epilogue. I've been happily married to my second wife, Mikey, for 21 years. Thank God for do-overs. This is Mark Massey. Thanks for listening to my new weekly series, Give Me 2 Minutes, and I'll tell you a story. Stay tuned for more entertaining episodes, something to enjoy in these troubled times.